Hello class, welcome back. In this whiteboard, we are going to review race day fueling, right? What are your hourly intake needs of water, sodium, glucose? How much protein should you take during the race? If so, are nitrates a thing? Caffeine, how much is safe? And overall total caloric intake. I actually published a paper on this back in 2019. I'll have that in the description if you want to take the deep dive, but this is just a quick whiteboard illustration. Love the whiteboard. Sorry for the sloppy handwriting, but the point is you learn it and then you copy it and you redo it and then you do it better so you remember it.
I'm going to break this down simply. First category, water. That one's pretty straightforward here. 400 to 800 milliliters per hour. Everyone has a range. That translates to about 13.5 to 27 ounces, or what a lot of people will roughly do 16 to 20 ounces. Many of your standard water bottles are the 20-ounce bottles. There are some that are actually 24 ounces, so that's a pretty good average to go from. You can adjust your water intake according to sweat rate and actually your body weight before and after a ride or long run, but that's a good range to start with. Next one is going to be sodium. And another range is out there, just like water. There's the same range with sodium. 300 to 600 milligrams an hour is what's commonly cited. Again, everyone has a unique sweat rate and sodium content in their sweat, so it's something that you have to work on. You know, there's another study out there that talks about triathletes. The average sodium intake while racing long-distance triathlons and high-level triathletes has been reported as up to, but not exceeding, about 500 milligrams per hour. Again, sodium content in their sweat. So this is the general range to start. Moving on down, we're going to go to glucose. All right, so in general, this basically goes by the length of time you're exercising. So 30 to 60 milligrams per hour is generally what's recommended if your total exercise time is less than 2.5 hours. If you're really going for longer distances, you could do 60 milligrams per hour, sometimes even 70 if you're greater than 2.5 hours. And this is because, in general, the maximum glucose athletes can absorb about 1 gram per minute. In some studies, 1.1 grams per minute, so 60 grams per hour is certainly reasonable. And the optimal solution in this, in terms of osmolality, matching your body, is a 6 to 8% concentration of glucose. That's typically what's already present in most sports drinks, but it's good to keep an eye out. All right, so those are the big three that we focus on, but there are three others that are some people think just as important. One is protein. So again, there are ranges here, but about 0.25 grams per kilogram in theory per hour if it's a very high intensity exercise situation, as your body is going to go into catabolism and use protein from muscles for energy when it does not have enough. All right, another one, nitrates, also very important for endurance athletes. This one, again, a range that's out there. The best numbers that we've seen is about 300 to 600 milligrams of nitrate about 30 to 60 minutes prior to the event to help with maximizing nitric oxide production. And lastly, we have good old caffeine, 1 to 3 milligrams per kilogram, about 30 to 90 minutes prior to the event. And you can top up, so to speak, every 1 to 2 hours as needed with additional caffeine if necessary. And to round out the picture, everything that we're ingesting is calories, and there's been some studies out there that looked at this. In general, you want to have an intake of about 200 to 300 calories per hour to avoid a caloric deficit if your event is about 1.5 hours to 4 hours in duration. You need to up it, though, 300 to 600 calories per hour if you're going above 4 hours, 4 to 12 hour event. In cyclists, that roughly translates to about 40 calories per mile that we burn, which is actually fairly interesting that it's pretty accurate regardless of the speed. So for example, if you're riding at about 10 miles per hour, you might burn about 400 calories. And if you look on one of your tracking watches, whatever you use, for example, Garmin, you can look at that, and I've done that, and I actually average about 454 calories per hour if I ride at 10 miles per hour. So that actually works out pretty well. Elite riders burn about 600 to 800 calories per hour, and that roughly translates to riding at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. And in general, you want to check calories burned on your training rides and try to match. In general, the goal here is trying to match within 100 calories to avoid going into extreme caloric deficit. It's kind of hard to entirely match all the calories you're burning. You're just going to be very sluggish and not be able to ride very well. But try to get within 100 calories. And the final point in this is you need about 6 to 8 ounces of water for every 100 calories of food. Otherwise, there's too little water for digestion, and the gut pulls the water out of the blood.